Okay, so hi, welcome. Sunday night, non-duality talk. Before we start, there are some links below the video. So if you're interested in having a private Skype with me, there's a link there. Hi Claudia, hi Prem, hi Paul, hi Heel, hi Paul. Yeah, which are always really good if you can do that. I've got a talk coming up in a month's time, just less than a month now. So if you're interested in that, that's in Brighton. And I'm pretty sure, hi Ramona, 16th and 17th of December. So if you need the address for that, just private message me and you'll get the address for that. It's also my book. And what else is there? Oh yeah, if you feel to donate towards these talks, and that helps with the running of the website and everything, I've been very grateful. There's my Facebook page. And also in my donate, I also accept cryptocurrency because I'm modern like that. Hi Donnie, hi Joe. So yeah, non-duality. What we're all looking for. What we're all looking for. We think there's something to find. And it's just this. It's just this. There's nothing else to find. It's already here. It's already everything. It's a total illusion that there's something to find. Yet that illusion seems to persist, but it's not true. Hi, Sana. It's not true. Where is it? Where is this thing that never comes? That's so elusive. It's elusive because it's not there. It's elusive because it just doesn't exist. And this is such a beautiful simplicity that all there is what is. That's it. There's nothing else. Oh, God. There's nothing else. You think there's something to find. If you think that, there's something to find. But where is it? It's in the imagination. It's in a dream, a fantasy called me. And it's not me. It's not a me. It's not a person. It just gives itself the title, me, written across its head. It's an invisible head. Looking, seeking, searching, thinking there's something to have. Somebody else has it. She has it and I don't. She's got something I don't know. That's a total imagination fantasy. There's nothing here that has anything. There's nothing here that you don't have. Lisa has sitting on a chair speaking. You have sitting on a chair listening. It's the same. The only difference is there's this idea that there is something else, that there is something more that I'm not understanding, I'm not getting. That is the only difference. And then there's all this spiritual woo about finding the real self and becoming free and enlightened personally. These are all stories or dreams of something that's never going to happen. There's nothing beyond this. There's nothing beyond what is happening. Hi, Joe. There's nothing beyond this. This thing called the me doesn't want to hear that there's nothing but this. It doesn't want to hear it. It really, really feels there's something else that's going to happen to it. Something's going to happen to me. Me is not even real. It just kind of hangs around as a sense. Being a bother. But that's all it is. It's just a sense. Hi, Patrick. It's not who you are. You're not anybody. You're not a person. The body that is sitting there listening and in a room with walls and floor and space is life. That's what you're after. You're after life. You're after the totality of life, and it's there. It's right here. This is what you're after. This is all you want. But the looking for it overlooks it. It's just grasping at something that just doesn't exist. Yeah, hangs about being a bother. It does. It's just a bother. It's a pain in the neck. But that's all it is. It isn't real. It isn't true. It says, but it's me, it's me. But so what? It's saying that. It's saying it's me and I'm here and I'm real. But it's just saying it. What else is, there's nothing else happening. It's just something saying it. I feel real. But that's all that's happening. Just something there saying I'm real. I'm here, I'm me, and I can't find it. But that's all it is. It's just an appearance. Appearance looking for something that isn't happening. It's looking for this. Can't find it because it's looking. And it seems to dominate the system, the body. It seems to dominate it, but just seems to dominate it. It apparently dominates it. It's actually cold here now. It's like gone from one extreme to the other. It's gone from 40 degrees to 10, which is cold for me. Cara, oh, thank you. So last week you said the problem isn't thinking. It feels like thinking is the problem. So is it identified thinking? Thanks. Yeah, exactly. It's that appearance that calls itself me that thinks that I'm thinking. It's not thinking. The brain is thinking. It's not the sense of me that's thinking. It's not the sense of me that's feeling. It just claims it all, and that's where the suffering happens. Because it thinks it shouldn't be thinking this, it shouldn't be feeling that. My life is not how it should be. Then when life is totally as it can only be this. What else can it be? Some fantasy of a better future? It'll always be a fantasy of a better future. That better future will never arrive. This is as good as it gets. This is always, this is all there is. This is all there is. Heal. So this ain't even fulfilling. It's already full, satisfying and satisfied, endless satisfaction. Not bad. Yeah, it's not fulfilling to anybody. There's nobody here who's fulfilled. There's nobody here that's satisfied. It's just what's happening. Yes, it's beyond satisfaction. It's just ungraspable. Ungraspable. There's no steady state. There's no personal steady state. Hi, Sergey. Endless satisfaction. No, it's not like that. It's really very ordinary for the human. Just ordinary life. You know, mostly undeterred by, well, no, not deterred by the sense of seeking, that's for sure, but it's just normal life. It's just whatever's happening. Like yesterday morning, very early, there was the neighbors next door were screaming their heads off outside, and all the walls and windows here are very thin. So Lisa lies in bed going, oh God, oh, we say shut up. That's just normal life happening. It's a free fall of that. It's amazing. But there's nothing there going, I shouldn't feel like this, and I need to get to not being like this. I need to get to this peace where I won't feel those things anymore. And the wonder is being it just allowed to flow in that way. Those feelings are allowed to flow in their natural way without that sense of self there, thinking it should be a different way. And that I haven't reached there yet because I have these feelings and I have these thoughts. I haven't got there because of them. When the feelings and the thoughts is the absolute totality of life, appearing as those feelings and thoughts. Well, they're pretty juicy. Oh, thanks, Ramona. It's a pain in the neck saying, it's me, it's me. It only seems to dominate the body. Feels like it took over the whole goddamn ship, if you ask me, but you didn't ask me, right? Yeah, it feels like everything is positioned from that sense. Yeah, everything is positioned from it. Everything's happening to it. Revolves around it. Here's the central star and the whole universe is revolving around it. That's how it feels, isn't it? Hi, Bruno. There's no steady state, but is it always the same? It's always the same as it is always just this. And the sense of time and perspective of time, future and past, totally evaporates in a sense. But there's no steady state for the human system, body, mind. There's no steady state for that. That's just whatever. That's just a kaleidoscope. Kara, it's just what's happening without claiming. Yes. Yes. Without anybody to claim it. Yeah, it's literally that. It's literally this. It is this. Mona, I have to think about that. This sense of self only seems to dominate the body. Or probably I shouldn't. But it feels like, as an appearance, it feels like it's in the body. It feels like it's looking out of the eyes. That's normally where it seems, that's the normal way it seems to appear. It feels like it's in the body. It doesn't feel like it's in the plant. Definitely feels like it's in the body. And then everything revolves around it. And when that's gone, there's only everything. And and nothing. But I can't explain nothing. It's my new hand warmer. Yeah, so going back to Bruno, when I say there's no steady state, I do mean for the human being. Yeah, because some people, some spiritual teachers say there's only inner peace, or there's only this, and it all sounds very personal to me. What I'm speaking about is the end of personal. It's the end of it. Even when the human's offended, it's not personal. Human's just free to be what it is without any interference from something thinking it should be a different way. It's just free to be whatever it is. It's not this, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it for the person. There's nothing in it for the human. It's being free of that. It's being free of it. Being free of it being anything for me. It's just a dream that there's something that's going to happen to me. Bruno, you couldn't say that everything that appears has the same undescribable quality. The indescribable quality of everything is the it's just alive. It's alive. It's free and alive. Not in the sense if we think of things wriggling and moving around alive. It's just here. It's just here. It's aliveness appearing as everything. I can't have any word. I can't find any words for it. Yes, you could say that everything does have an indescribable quality, but there's nothing that gets anything from that. There's nothing that here goes, oh, I've reached it, I'm finally there. It's not like that, because there's no I to finally get there. It just is apparent when there isn't anybody who is seeking beyond what is. Keel, could you say that me is the biggest trauma, and all the suffering that follows kind of clings to that first pain, trauma of separation, mostly overlooked and hardly ever remembered? I can't say for everybody, but I could only speak from here in that respect. I do remember the first trauma, actually. Oh, I think I was around 3 years old. I remember being very suddenly, rather than just going playing and eating and all, just all those things just happening, there was suddenly a sense of, I remember the first sense was somebody shamed me. Somebody shamed the body, the person, the human, and something suddenly popped into existence almost. It's just like a suddenly a sense of self-consciousness that I shouldn't be this. And I would say that, yeah, the first trauma was there, and then it kind of got added on to until finally it was just unmanageable. Yeah, like everybody, I guess. So in a sense, as a story, but also paradoxically, that's how it was. Yeah. Mona, I get this giggling feeling in my stomach when all the fuzz in my head is just a sense of self screaming, it's me. Funny, this sense there's no one looking behind my eyes, just skull and brain. Wow. Yeah, there isn't anyone looking behind your eyes. There's no person. There's no person looking out. It's just a very deeply held psychosomatic belief. I don't know what the right words for it are. It's just a sense, isn't it? It's a deep ingrained sense that's built up and built up and is like seems firmly entrenched. Seems that way, but it's not. Because when it's revealed, it's just the funniest thing. It's just a joke. You're just like, oh, it's just a joke. Bruno, but the traumas of me don't need to be solved. No, not at all. Unless that's what you want to do for a more comfortable me feeling. But for the me to be not there anymore, no trauma work has to be done. No. This message is either heard or it's not. And suddenly it can become very clear. And that can happen in many ways. It can suddenly be a clarity, whether all-encompassing or intellectual, and the whole thing is revealed, and then it can go backwards and forwards, or the whole thing can just collapse in a pile of will-o'-the-wisp that it is. Heal. Interesting, yeah. With me, the first real trauma was being blamed for doing something bad. Also a kind of separation, I guess. Yeah, it's like somebody makes the human, by what they say or treated, suddenly feel self-conscious. I mean, I can't say for everyone, of course. I mean, I just don't know. I can only speak from the experience here, so don't take my word for it. But yeah, that seems to be common, yeah. Yeah, suddenly there's just what's happening. Suddenly it's just like a sense of self-consciousness. I think that's a good word for it. Self-consciousness. The consciousness of being separate. Consciousness and separation are the same thing. It's a pity, really. But, it's the way it seems to be. That's what life does. Life appears as being separate, and simultaneously it is life. A very strange conundrum. always amazes me how this aliveness can appear as looking for itself. I find that very fascinating, really, how life can appear as itself, looking for itself. Bruno, it seems that when the me loosens, it also tightens in a strange way. Yeah, because also that appearance also has the facility to not want to go. It's it'll hang on like a massive leech. But that's just an appearance. It doesn't really do that. Hola, Raphael. Yeah, so if there's a kind of something's, if there's a kind of a clarity or a glimpse, that thing that thinks it's been you all these years will want to hold on, or just want to hold on. But it's not anything. It's not anything. And the more it seems that, you know, this message is heard, and there can be a clarity and there can be a hearing of it, it kind of it undermines the illusion, and the illusion just loses its strength. Ramona, something knows what you're speaking about and gets giggling, but the sense of self feels threatened and want to stand up and throw stuff to a degree, starting with a but. Yeah, you're saying, we're probably writing that. You're probably writing that same time as I said it. Yeah, something hears what's been said, but it's not the sense of self that hears it. It's just heard, because what's been spoken of is the natural reality, just simply the natural reality of what is. And of course that is known, but it's not personally known. There's nothing you can get from it, nothing can be gleaned from it. It's just obvious. Can you speak more about this only seems to be doing, but that it doesn't really? Yeah. It only seems to be because it really believes it's doing it. It really believes it. The sense of self really believes all its rubbish. So it seems to be doing it. But what it can't be seen from that perspective is that life is doing it. It's not doing anything. It just apparently is, but it's not really. Donnie, yes, there seemed to be a real joy as a child here, just being alive. Then one day the joy just seemed to be lost. Maybe when self-consciousness of a me appeared. Yeah, because then suddenly it's like, well, I'm not free, you know, the human's no longer free to run around naked and do inappropriate things like pull another kid's hair. And, you know, and eat too many sweets and not do as it's told, freely, just freedom, the human just being this free entity, just wonderful. And suddenly this contraction happens where there's this sense of, I'm doing it, I'm pulling the little kid's hair, and I shouldn't because then I'm bad. You know, all that comes in with the sense of self-consciousness. That wasn't there before. There was no kind of, no inhibition. And of course, as an adult, you get to know, you know, social norms and, you know, you get conditioned in that way. But it's that sense of self-consciousness that is so damn uncomfortable. Always judging itself and feeling guilty and just commenting on everything. Bloody painful. Sergey, on one hand, I feel myself drawn to non-duality. On the other hand, I know that nothing can be done to remove the sense of me. Funny. Yeah, well, the me can't remove the sense of me. That seeker, the seeking energy, cannot do anything because that's a motor that runs on its own that isn't a person. But on the other hand, in non-duality, when it's spoken in a certain way, without the seeker, without someone giving you, the seeker, something to do, God forbid, something is heard. And there's a love in that. There's there's something true, not the truth, because you can't know what the truth is, but there's something true in it. It's got a ring of truth in it. It feels familiar. And that familiar sense is there because it's the natural reality that was once known when there was a child without self-consciousness. So it's innately, it's innate, utterly innate. CDD. Yeah, the continued listening of this message will probably be the undermining of the giant leech of self. It does undermine it, yeah. Because, you know, you listen to this message and then there's something there kind of running around like a mad thing trying to grasp it. Oh, you're welcome. Something around desperately trying to grasp it for itself. You know, the leech trying to suck a bit more blood. And but on the other hand, there's something that hears it and innately knows that this self-consciousness is not who I am. When I say that, I don't mean that you are somebody. There's no other way of putting it. It's not who this body is. It's not who this body is. This body is like the little child that ran around eating too many sweets and paddling in the sea and pulling other kids' hair. I say that because my daughter used to like pulling other kids' hair. You know, that's the freedom. And as adults, obviously, we don't go around pulling people's hair. Because we've learned not to. Oh. Imagine that. But there's that freedom as the adult human. There's the freedom as that. There's like no self-consciousness. It's just absolute freedom to do what it does. But it's not free for me. Oh, tickled me. Oh God. It's bloody amazing. When you see it, when you see it, just please write to me and go, oh my God. Oh my God. It's so obvious. What a joke. A friend of mine, he put, hi Will. A friend of mine, he put a video on Facebook the other day. And the sense of self-consciousness in him was totally disintegrating. And he put this very funny video where he was laughing his head off, because it does make you laugh. It does, because it's just like he was going, He was laughing his head off and going, "This is fucking priceless. This is effing priceless." It's like, oh my God, because it's so just so simple, so simple. It's priceless because it's so simple. And it just, oh, I'm lost for words. Let's read this instead. I bubbles in my stomach when you speak. Feel yes, yes. Yeah, that's, you see, that's the yes, with all the capital letters, is the innate sense of, yes, it's just this. It's just this. Of course it is. What else is it? Same time, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. No, well, the sense of self won't have any idea what I'm talking about. And the human won't have any idea what I'm talking about. I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. But it's just recognized, just recognized. Who feels the champagne in the stomach? Who's thinking? Who has opinions? Who am I? Yeah, none of it. None of it. It's life going. Who's thinking? Who has opinions? Who am I? It's life. Just full on, full on. Amazing. Keel. So it's heard, but not by anything, not by me, not by the brain or whatever. It's hearing itself. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe that. It's just really obvious that the self-consciousness is not a person. It's just heard. It's just heard by the ears, the brain, the human, the wall. It's just heard. It's, I don't know. I don't know what hears it. Nothing hears it. Hearing happens. Hearing just happens. It's like saying, it's like me looking at this roll of sellotape, right? And all my life, I really believe that this roll, this is a terrible analogy, but I'm just going to go with it. And all my life, I've really believed that this sellotape is who I am, right? Somehow my consciousness has been projected into the sellotape and I hold on to it for dear life. Free flow here, don't know where this is going. I hold on to it for dear life. And then somebody keeps pointing out to me that there's nobody in the sellotape, Lisa. There's nobody in it. It's just a roll of sellotape. Where is this person? Where is it? I'm like, oh, but I really sense it. I really sense that I'm here. I'm here. I'm just here. And constantly pointed out until one day the human goes, oh my God, of course there's no body in the bloody sellotape. And it's no different with the body. The body, the sellotape, it's the same thing. It's just this deeply held sense, belief, contraction that really believes, really feels that I am here, until it's gradually eroded away, or there's a sudden light bulb goes on, as it were. And it's really obvious that the sellotape was never a person, or the body was never a person. Hi, lovely. Ah, never too late. You can always watch the beginning afterwards. Booyah! Keel says, yeah, the sellotape is sticky too. Very sticky. Very sticky. Okay, sitting with that. That was a great analogy. Thank you. I didn't really know where I was going, but yeah, it's kind of, yeah, really. The sellotape was never a person. No, and the human was never a person. The human was never a person. Oh, thanks, Paul. Yeah. But it's true, you know, it was never, the human was never a person. The human is not a person. The human is a human. The person is a deeply held, contracted belief, stroke, feeling, sense that the body is a person. Sergey, if I'm not the body, who am I then? Well, there is no I. You mean who is the body? Who is the human? The human is the human. It's not a person. The human is the human. It's not a contracted sense of self. That is not the human. The human is a biological system full of thoughts and feelings and creativity and laughter and sadness and all those things, all those things. And it's not separate from anything else. It's not separate from the wall or the plant or the computer. There is no I in any of it. It's just all happening simultaneously. You see, if I am not the body, who I? Who? Who is this I you're speaking about? There is no I in the body. It's an illusion. It's an appearance. This I you're talking about is a illusory, contracted sense of separation that is not a person. It just calls itself that. If there was no body, there'd be no I anyway. Where would it go? Floating around, going to heaven or something? Being a ghost? What is just not, it's not true. None of it's true. And I can say it's not true because it's not true. There is nobody. There is no me. Bruno, so the human still remains, but there's no one in it. Exactly. There is no more sense of contraction. No more sense of I am in here and I need to find a way out. It's just normal life without that. Really normal life without that. Absolute free flow of life without seeking and without the suffering of seeking. Sergey, what do you mean when you say not separate from the wall? Well, everything is just the one thing happening. All the happenings are the one thing, the one aliveness happening. There's no more the sense of I am in here and the wall is separate from me. When there's no me, there's really no difference between the body and the wall. Neither, there just isn't. You can't have one without the other. Mona, but if everyone starts saying, hi Derek, how are you doing and how's your life to the sellotape, it will start believing it is a person named Derek with a clear purpose to succeed or failing. Yeah, I guess it's well, no. And maybe some people will. Some people believe in some really crazy stuff. They might even think it could become enlightened and put a robe on it and sit it on a little throne, put a couple of little tiny sellotapes next to it. Right hand sellotape, you know, sellotape, God in the sky, male. Sorry, getting out of hand. Hi Lee. But the sellotape doesn't have self-consciousness. What is your experience of self-consciousness? I was using it as an analogy, Lee. Using it as an analogy, as like trying to as an analogy, trying to separate from it the experience in the body and seeing it as no different. To see how ridiculous it is. Joe, everything that's happening is not what you think it is. Lol. Sergey, like in a cinema, you see the whole picture on the wall. Yeah, this becomes the whole picture. Yeah. This is like a 3D movie and nobody's in it. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Sellotape G. Shri sellotape G. Yeah, it's like it just is. It just is this. Just is this. I can only use analogies. Oh wait, there's no talk given. I'm confused. Well, it's just this, Ramona. Just this. This. Lovely. Lisa, even if we are only humans, aren't we still people with personalities? People look really solid in reality when I meet them. We're humans with personalities. We're not separate me's with personality. The personality's got nothing to do with the sense of self. It's just the character. I think character is a better word. The character. You know, you see dogs with different characters. You know, they're all different, aren't they? Cats. Humans are no different. The character is not the sense of contracted separation. Everything has its character. Everything has a character. Art has a character. Plants, trees. People look really solid in reality. No, their body looks solid. Their body looks solid. Their character is solid. The character is there. Their essence is there. The sense you get from them is there. But there's nobody in that. There is no separation in this life. Nothing is separate. Even the sense of separation is this life. So nothing is separate. It cannot be separate. It cannot be. Hi, Steve. Sometimes I feel pissed off because I didn't get anywhere. Such a tragedy. I'm laughing because he's put a laughing face afterwards. Yeah, no, I never gets anywhere. It's always stumbling over its feet into the next moment. Yes, exactly, characters. Cool. So everything is just fine and happens as it is. Everything is absolutely how it is. Absolutely how it is. Absolutely whole. Because nothing can be separated out from it. It cannot be separated out. Only separated as appearances. And even that's not really separate. It just can't be, it's just absolutely whole. The sense of separation is just a sense. But it's not separate. It's just an appearance, like everything else. Everything just appears all at once, including that. So Jay, okay, if it's a 3D picture, then who does see it? Who does see it? Nobody. The eyes, but the eyes aren't a person. The eyes aren't a person. The eyes are seeing it. It's too simple. There's this like really deeply held belief that if there's no person, then how can anything be seen? Or the eyes don't disappear. Like when you're watching a movie, and I like using this analogy, when you're watching a movie and you're totally in that movie, you know, you're really enjoying it, you're utterly gripped. Is there anybody watching it? Or has this sense of being somebody totally disappeared because there's just a total feeling of, not even a feeling, there's just totally just film happening because it's so all-encompassing. Does there not have to be anybody there to see that? Or is it just what's happening? Even when the eyes are closed, it's just darkness. Or like when you're having thoughts, there's nobody seeing the thoughts, they're just thoughts, they're undeniably there. The sense that I'm looking at the thoughts is just a dream, it's just a, there's nobody looking at the thoughts. There's just this thing there that goes, I'm looking at the thoughts. But when there's no sense of self there, thoughts still happen. Oh, thanks, lovely. Thanks, Joe. Is it like a dream? No. No. The sense of self is like a dream. That's like a dream. What is left with that sense of self is just what's happening. Just what's happening. It's neither a dream or not a dream. It is neither real nor not real. It is neither everything and nothing. It's just totally indescribable. It just is what is. But a sense of self, when it's finally exposed, that it's exposed as being a dream. It was never a person. It was never me. That just collapses in a pile of nothing. Donnie, such a sense of relief when I realised the separate me doesn't exist. Yeah, because it's such a, it's just so, such a pain. Because it's that drive all the time is actually very tiring, and all that suffering, I'm this, I'm that, I should have did this, I shouldn't have done that. All that judgment and self-blame and all that, when that's not there, it's life becomes much more relaxed. Doesn't mean that, you know, shit doesn't hit the fan sometimes in this existence, as it does. But all that contracted sense of self-analyzing, when that's not there, it's a real relief. Ramona, the eyes see it, but the eyes are not from anyone. No, there's no me living in the eyes. They are just a lens contacted to a skull and a brain, thinking of a film is happening to the owner of the eyes. And it's fucking convincing, super convincing. Yeah, there is no owner of the eyes. Yeah, nobody owns the eyes. The eyes are just there. They just work or don't work if you've got vision problems. Lee, can you give me some homework? Is that a joke? No. No. Listen to no duality. Bruno. The darkness when closing your eyes is not immeasurably bigger than when there was a person. I mean like infinite or something, infinite as a huge space. What's wrong with the eye? What's the wrong idea from the, that's the wrong idea. Yeah, that's the wrong idea. The closing the eyes is just closing the eyes. Yeah. That's it. Closing the eyes is closing the eyes. It's no different in any human. Oh, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be another human closing the eyes. But here it's just closing the eyes. It's no different. It's no different from when I closed the eyes 10 years ago. It's just closing the eyes. It's just normal. Yeah, Lee. Keel, in the story, would you agree that sometimes things... Sorry, jump there. In the story, would you agree that sometimes things seem to happen random and sometimes it's crazily coincidental, like life wants to believe in a higher power almost? I don't know. Well, this life can appear as anything, even wanting to believe. Life wants you to believe in a higher power almost. But that would be life acting like you, like becoming, appearing as a you, wanting to believe in a higher power. It'd be the same life. And sometimes are crazily coincidental. You know, synchronicity is always incredible. And life just appears as that. But then again, life can appear as planets and nebulas and quasars and microbacteria and just everything. It's just vast. This appearance is vast. It's so vast. Just can't pin it down. It appears as everything. Bruno, so it's not huge infinite space when there's no one. It's impossible to describe, Bruno. It's nothing personal. There's nothing here that's personal. But what is left is the beauty of this creation. Just the beauty, wonder. But it's not experienced by anybody. There's no one here going, there's not somebody here in a perpetual state of wonder and bliss. There's no bliss involved. It's just, it's beyond description. But there's not an infinite space. No, it's beyond that. Beyond space and time. And it looks like this. Okay, I've got a couple of minutes left. Ramona wants her eyes to be hers, to be the seer and the one thinking, the one owning the whole thing. Ramona's very attached to Ramona and she's in a loop right now. Homework. Feel the bum on the seat, Lee. Yeah, but it would still be life being Lee, feeling bum on the seat. All that'll be happening is feeling bum on the seat. Yeah, well, that's just, you know, that claiming is there, isn't it? Claiming. Yeah. Ramona's very attached to Ramona. Well, me's just very attached to me and my life. Me's attached to me. Me's not attached to Ramona. Ramona's free. The human of Ramona is free. It's Ramona happening in free fall, no different from anything else happening. Great question. Keo was thinking about that as well. Yeah, life can appear as anything. Life can appear as worshipping gurus. Go figure. Or all sorts of things. I mean, wow, things that people believe in, some crazy stuff. But, you know, that's life doing it. I'm not here to judge. Donnie. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's really nice. Yeah, no need to make a story around synchronicity. No, synchronicity is amazing. Amazing. I mean, what the hell? You could say this is synchronicity. Everything is synchronized. Everything is utterly, utterly perfect. Utterly synchronized. Whole. Okay, I'm going to leave on that note. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your great questions and your humor and fun and honesty and all those beautiful things. And I may try and be back on Wednesday again. Who knows? I might actually get around to it. So thanks, everyone, and see you soon. Bye.